For our meat rabbits, we feed a mix of whole grains. We don't feed pellets. Instead, we mix our own grain, and so far it's been working very well. We mix exact proportions of different types of grain, and we put it in their feeder. And so far, they've been doing a great job of eating it, and there hasn't been a lot of problems until recently. A few days ago, maybe a week ago, one of our mamas started to dig in the feed, and not just like a little bit, like she would like dig like half of the feed out in like 5 minutes or less. She was searching for a specific type of grain, but the hard thing is I don't even know what type she was eating, so I can't add more of that into our mix. So this has been happening for a while, and then I put it all back in, or I fix it, and I've been trying, little things to make her better and, make sure they can get enough of stuff without having to waste it all, but it hasn't been working. I have also been wanting to add some more grains, and I just want overall to make sure that they have enough of each grain. Like, for example, we feed sunflower seeds as part of our grain mix, but I don't know if we're feeding enough of them. We follow a recipe, but our rabbits could need different amounts of things than the other rabbits and stuff, so the wanting to make sure they have as much of each grain as they need, coupled with the need to have them stop digging, has led me to this new solution. So yesterday we purchased 4 chicken feeders, which we have used with great success for our babies. In the grow out pen, we have a chicken feeder, and it's very nice because even though they're smaller, the little lines have, prevent them from digging. I've liked this design for other rabbit uses, so I decided to try to have each grain separate in their separate chicken feeders. So we're going to have like 4 chicken feeders all lined up around here. I also want to try adding some dried peas to their diet. That's been something that some people feed, and I was like, hey, that isn't in the recipe we use, but I was like, hey, maybe we should try that and see if they like those or whatever. So, but they ended up not having enough feeders at the store when we went to buy them. So we have the grains that we have now, and then I'm going to order some peas and then get a new feeder for that. But for now, we're going to start off with 4 different feeders holding 4 different types of grain. And I marked each one, and I also want to see if the mix we've been feeding is enough. We do 1 part of most things except for 6-part oats, but if I'm going to keep track of how many times I fill each one, and if I fill up the sunflower seeds twice as much as the other ones, then I know I should have been doing 2-part sunflower seeds, and just kind of like that. So I make sure that the mix I'm giving to all the other rabbits, because the grow outs and the rabbits and tractors will still get a mix, because it's going to be really hard to fit 5 feeders in a tractor. But so we're going to see if the mix I have is right, and we're going to make sure, hopefully, this stops the digging problem. So right now we have 1 feeder that I have attached. It's a chicken feeder, really big. I've attached it with this screwy thing on some hay string that has been attached to a pole that is resting on this side, and then I screw it up into the wood on this side. And this has been working for 1 feeder, but I have to configure a new design to hang multiple feeders. So I want to make it easy and fast and cheap how to hang the feeders. So we have these pieces of wood going across our barn, and we have used them for this so far. So I'm thinking, what if I take a piece of wood, maybe like cut it in half type length, and then like screw it in, and then have it come out. And then next one, screw it in and have it come out. I wonder if that'd be too heavy, or I could put it up here and then screw it in this way. So like a piece of wood and then piece of wood, screw it in on the top. So we have it hanging there, and then hay string goes from the wood down to wherever we hang the feeders. That's my current plan, and I'm going to try and see if that works. If it doesn't, I'll change it, but that's my current design. Phew, that was way more of a chore than I thought it would be. I did end up hanging them with little sticks coming out and the hay string, but I had to add more screws, and some of the sticks were almost going to break, so I had to replace them. And then the hay string, getting them all about the same height was so hard, and deciding what height was right. And then I tried all these different methods and stuff. So what I ended up doing is I took a stick, screwed 1, sometimes some of them down there needed 2 screws into this piece of wood. It comes out. I tied a hay string. I took one end up here, wrapped it around the little handle, and then all the way up, and then tied it in a knot up there. I had to adjust the knot several times to get the right length, and then I did that for all the other ones, and that took such a long time. But now the grains look beautiful. I marked them, so we have oats over here, and then wheat, and black oil sunflower seeds, and so on. Is that instead of having the food over here, water over here, and a big place to put greens in the summer when greens are growing, I like to cut a lot of fresh greens for the rabbits and feed it to them. But now all that space is taken up with feeders, so I'm going to have to figure out a new way to feed greens. I like to feed it off of the floor so they don't eat on their own poop, and it doesn't mix into the bedding and get weird, so I can have the greens up there, and then it starts to wilt and stuff, and I can take it out and then replace it with fresh greens. I might have to figure out a new idea and way to do that, but that won't be till spring, so we still have a month or more of having this work out perfectly until we have to fix something else. So I guess we will end the video here. I guess if there's any like updates or like, oh no, this broke, I have to fix it, I'll put it after this clip. But if this is the last clip you see, then everything is working out okay. I will probably do an update video about how the system is working after I've tried it for a few weeks or months, and then to see how I like it and improvements, big improvements I made. But so far it's working out very well, and I'm very pleased with this design, and it's awesome.